Well, now back to Manchester, New Hampshire, and we have Jim Malone joining us via Skype. Jim, this primary, would you say now it feels like the election has really begun, the election process?
Well, it has begun, Vincent, and I think it's going to take a different turn in New Hampshire. Republican Donald Trump's leading in the polls here. Democrat Bernie Sanders is leading on the Democratic side. I think the big thing we're going to be watching is how close Hillary Clinton can get to Bernie Sanders in the Democratic race. And on the Republican side, who will finish behind Donald Trump? There are 5 candidates bunched in there, including Jeb Bush, Marco Rubio, Ted Cruz, Chris Christie, and John Kasich. There's going to be a furious struggle to see who finishes behind Trump, because all of these people want to go on to the next primaries in Nevada and in South Carolina.
Now, somebody out there will say, well, this is just one state. How important is it for somebody to win in New Hampshire?
Well, traditionally, New Hampshire's role is to somewhat clear the field. People who don't do well here often leave the race. We may see some of that after Tuesday's results. On the other hand, Vincent, I have to tell you, talking to voters here, it's hard to get a fix on where they are. A lot of them are not deciding to the last minute. That means we could have a very mixed result on Tuesday, especially on the Republican side. And any number of these Republican contenders may be able to justify continuing beyond New Hampshire. So although it usually clarifies the field, it's not exactly clear that will happen this time. We'll just have to wait and see.
Historically, do the rest of Americans tend to, especially those who have not made up their minds, make their minds after New Hampshire?
Well, I mean, I think they look to New Hampshire as an early indication of which candidates are doing well. On the Democratic side, though, we should point out that even though Bernie Sanders has an advantage here, the Clinton campaign is looking ahead to other races, particularly in South Carolina, because that's the first time that minority voters, African-American voters, will weigh in. So they're ready to withstand a possible loss here and look ahead. The Democratic race looks like it will go on for some time. And quite frankly, so does the Republican race. So New Hampshire this time looks like the next step in the process, but it will not be determinative.
Well, Jim, thank you very much for your excellent reporting from New Hampshire.